Surf and Turf.
Angus steak.
Thank you, Anthony, for being here.
Thanks for having me, appreciate
Thank you very much. What have we got here?
The book, so I wrote these books about money, so teaching kids, help build the financial knowledge of a younger generation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I started from scratch and there's 4 of them out there. So tax, savings, I promise the tax one won't put you to sleep. Borrowing.
Well, some people might want to use it that way. For the kids,
but maybe they go, good night, take it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully get into schools. It's in a few schools at the moment, but doing a lot of presentations at schools.
How come you know about this stuff?
So my background, I've been over 10 years in finance, so corporate to boutique firms, and now I run my own firm.
Yeah, nice. That sounds like a nice way to make your job sound less boring.
Definitely right. But it's about my 2 dogs to make it more interesting as well.
Ah, they're actually real dogs.
Yeah. So I've got Blue Steph, and my brother's got the brother of my dog, Chica. It's about them.
Nice.
It's about them, so no, it's good.
Nice.
It's good.
Obviously, we here in Melbourne, but I don't know if they can buy it somewhere
They can.
else.
Yeah, they can buy. I've had a couple of people buy it in England, very randomly.
That's
I saw
cool.
it go through. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And a couple in the US. So yeah.
I don't think you talk about this enough.
Yeah,
It's a really good idea.
No, definitely.
Well, thanks for coming today again and for taking the time to do this with me. As I said, I just want to cook with people that are not chefs, and we'll cook something together. So you asked me to cook some steak. We've got some beautiful Angus steak. In my opinion, it's my favorite because it has the right amount of fat through it, like as Wagyu steak. It's not considered Wagyu, but it has some intermuscular fat, and I think it's the right amount. You can eat a whole steak. It's not so much as a Wagyu. But while we talk, I'll turn this on. And we'll go through a couple of things. So one of the things for me is the grill needs to be really hot.
Yep.
These cast iron ones are really good because once you get them really hot, you can put a lot of steaks on, and as long as the fire's going, they don't really lose the heat, and you can get that nice sear.
Yeah.
And plus, when people ask me how do you cook a steak, so well, my 50% of the job, my best trick is to have it outside of the fridge for at least 2 hours before you.
Is that to keep it at room temperature, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to have it like that or open air. Or it can be in a bag. It can be covered, but at room temperature.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one hasn't been out for that long, but it's a relatively thin steak. So
I'll eat it like that.
it's fine. Yeah. I can eat a lot of steak. Don't worry. The other thing is the way I do it is I just use flaky salt like this.
How can we do it on? Do you put it on before? So you put it on before?
Just before we go and cook it.
Yeah.
Not a lot earlier than that because then you just extract all the juices of the steak.
Yeah. Because what about during? Because I've seen people do it during.
Yeah, you can do it during. You can do that, but at least have it on the side that first goes in on the grill. Also, season the fat. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, I never used to do that.
Don't season the fat.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't cook the fat, and then they say, "Oh, fat doesn't taste good." Well, because you don't cook it. Obviously, it's gonna be rubbery, and actually, it's the first thing we're gonna tackle.
Fat. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of sauce here. It's gonna go on at the end. A bit of greens as well, and a bit of prawns. I don't know you, but I'm a big fan of surf and turf.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I would start with the fat. So just choose one side.
Yep.
Don't put it in the middle because that way we've got a hot grill after we use this side here.
Yep.
This one is gonna be hot, and then we can use this side
To actually then
to,
cook the steak.
and then we can use this side, and then this, and then this. Doing that, what happens is we keep one side heating up and the one cooking. And when we change side, the one that's heating up, it's always piping hot.
Okay.
Because that's what we want.
Then how long would you cook something like this for?
That's $1 million question. I don't have a time for you. I can't tell you. If I cut this a little bit thicker, like closer to an inch, I would have to cook it for a lot longer, and it's only this much more meat. It doesn't. It's hard to give it a time. I think when you cook so many steaks, it's about touching it. And the other way is you can get a thermometer. Like this one here. So now this one, it doesn't sound like it's sizzling a lot because we didn't put any extra oil. And what we want to do is render a bit of that fat, and that is what's gonna
give it a taste.
That's gonna be our oil, our fat. Instead of putting olive oil and then
I like it.
It burns.
You save your money.
With the price of olive oil at the moment.
Yeah,
that's for sure. If you, so you can use one of these. You just stick it in the middle, and not now because obviously it's raw. But when you get close to cooking point and you're not sure if it's, look, I like it medium rare, so it's supposed to be around 52 degrees Celsius inside.
Okay.
But
and that's
also,
when you know it's done.
This is, you should stop a little bit earlier, so 50, 51 degrees, and let it rest for a few minutes, so that way it goes up to the temperature that you actually want. Between 52 and 54, it's going to be nice. The other thing is, if you have the steak at room temperature, you'll have a more even color throughout the slice, rather than really, really red, bloody, and then red, and then pink, and then brown. You have a more even,
I didn't know that.
fade of the color as well. See, the fat is rendering.
I was going to say, there's the oil.
Also it's only touching the grills, so it doesn't look like it's doing, it doesn't sound like it's doing much, but it is.
It is, definitely.
Slowly.
And I can see that you coated the fat, and you can see the salt and the pepper's gone into it.
Yeah, exactly. So
like, you're making me hungry already.
So we've got some prawns. I think towards the end we can you can just put them on and grill them a little bit. And
I've never been good at cooking prawns.
No?
No.
Well, these ones are cooked.
So
you don't want to overcook them. You just want to quickly grill them in the fat that's coming out of the steak. And again, really hot grill. Make sure you char them. They're cooked. They're ready to eat. All you want to do is give it a bit of the taste of the steak. So this is starting to cook. If you want, you can press it down a little bit like that. If you have one that's half and half, also helps. But you want to caramelize the fat.
See, do you cook like that part as well, the opposite side to the fat?
Yeah. You have to. So I've cut this steak relatively thin. It's not a huge steak today, but if you get it a little bit bigger, thicker, obviously it stands a little bit better. Also, if the butcher gave you and you know the stuff, if the butcher gave you stuff that's been properly dried in the fridge, not super fresh from a carcass, it'll sort of feel a little bit more firm rather than floppy.
And it's funny, people say, they like buying aged beef
Yeah.
from a restaurant, but then when they go into a butcher and they say, oh, give me beef, they'd rather have the fresh cut. I don't know why. I remember thinking we used to have that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why, but like it's good being aged, especially Scotch fillet or porterhouse.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So this is Angus beef from here, from Australia. And I just said earlier as well, it's just my favorite. You can have a whole steak and it's not too much.
Yeah.
Right, so now that we've done those two sides, if you really want, you can do this side as well, why not?
Yeah.
At least quickly, because the more point of contact the steak has with the grill, the more flavor, the more caramelization we're giving it.
Yeah.
So actually there's a lot of chefs that say, you know what, the more you turn the steak, the more flavor you give it.
Really?
A lot of people like the actual
The
perfect crosses.
Yeah,
and I turn it a lot of times until it's ready.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
There's so many things, such as how hot the grill is,
Yeah.
and how thick the steak is, how cold it is outside, how cold the steak was.
So, a science project.
So now we can go to this side here.
Yeah.
I want to start on this side here because it's already kind of a little bit oily.
Yep.
So it's very important, if you want to give the crisscross, you put it there, press it down.
Yeah.
It has to be a bit oily, and then you leave it there for a few minutes.
Yep.
If now I lift it, I touch it, then I don't do the crisscross.
Yeah, and the crisscross.
Yeah.
It's pleasing to see that.
Yeah. In the meantime, we've steamed a bit of broccoli.
Yeah.
So that we can give them a bit of a grill as well.
So you steamed the first, now you're going to grill them.
You what?
You steamed the broccoli first, and now you're going to grill them.
Yeah, just quickly, because otherwise it's hard to cook, especially the stem.
Yep.
And we want this to be already cooked inside.
Yep.
Like the prawns, we just want to char them and give them a little bit of that flavor.
You're making me hungry already.
Well, you told me you wake up at 4 to go to the gym.
Yeah.
We can definitely see that.
Well, this is perfect, right down my alley. There's a lot more protein. That's what, and some greens, yes. Some good.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah.
You know. And but this is how I eat anyway. This is how I eat. I'm celiac, and people that follow me know that probably.
Okay.
A lot of them follow me because of that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
I'm celiac, and so I know there's a lot of substitute to carbs.
Yeah.
I can eat rice. I can eat rice flour and gluten-free products.
Yeah.
But I just genuinely prefer something like this over something.
Would this affect you at all?
No, there's absolutely no gluten. So I made this sauce with some of the juices from previous cooking.
Yeah.
And instead of thickening it with flour, which you can, you use gluten-free flour instead of normal flour.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, what I did is I put cannellini beans
In there to thicken it
in
up.
the gravy.
Yeah. Is that thickening the sauce up?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because my mum's celiac as well.
Or if you have some steamed potatoes or some mash in the fridge, put a couple of teaspoons of mash. Mash works even better, especially if you've used a very starchy potato.
Yep.
And it's a gluten-free and a better way to thicken it, and it doesn't taste floury as well. And there's some mustard as well. Now it's a bit like this because it's still cold. We're gonna have to reheat it.
Yep.
And there's some onions, some carrots, some of this stuff. So one thing also, if it comes off really easy and I don't have to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
That means I'm doing a good job in two ways. One way is the grill is nice and hot,
Yep.
and the other way is it's ready. So see,
Okay.
we got the marks. So we want to use this side here now,
Yep.
just next to it, because it's gonna be nice and hot. Press it down.
It looks like good steak.
Yep. You can put the broccoli here.
Oh, to capture that flavour.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Very nice.
I honestly, I just like salt and pepper on the steak.
We're wogs.
I don't, I don't like any. I don't like any sweet for sure.
No.
With pork and chicken, you know, more like American cooking sort of style, it's fine. But not with beef.
No.
For
No.
me,
More plain the better.
yeah, exactly. When you buy a good piece of beef, like it's yeah, you just want the flavor. I was actually yesterday, a friend of mine invited me to the Orthodox
Yep.
Greek Easter,
Yep.
and they had the whole lamb on the spit,
Oh.
and it was something. If you've never tried, something unbelievable. The
Yeah.
juice, so juicy, and it was from their land, so it's 0 kilometers land. You know, just it's always been eating the grass
Yeah.
between the in their property between the vine leaves,
Yeah.
the vines, because they've got a bit of vines.
Where was this at?
Just up towards. Sorry, but nowadays we use Google Maps. We don't really. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even think.
1 hour and a half.
Just put it in.
north.
Take me,
Yeah.
like Shepparton probably or somewhere around there.
Yeah, just past Shepparton.
Yep.
So I can tell this is getting there
Yep.
by just how it springs.
Yep.
But so you can open up this one.
Yeah.
The point. The point needs to be in. This
Yeah.
part doesn't do anything. So
Yeah.
if the point is going through and touching the grill,
Yeah,
you're
it'll take
not
the grill.
you're not getting the temperature that you want. So we need to make sure it's in the middle. So we are perfect.
Yep.
So what we do now is we take it off,
Yep.
put it here, quickly put the prawns where the steak was.
Yep. And they're already cooked, so they're getting all the fats as well from this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Plating this one on here. You like this trunk?
It's,
I grew up in an area like Red Hill.
Yep.
So if you're from Melbourne, you know it's a bit hilly. There's
Yes.
wineries.
there's films, yeah.
It's not CBD,
Yep.
but it's also not.
Two countries.
It's also not. Yeah. So it's a nice. It's a nice area, not too far from civilization.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's why I like the wood, these natural colors.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I grew up like that in the nature, trying to understand things with my friend, the only person that was living near there.
Yep.
So one thing you can do when you rest the steak, to avoid the juices going all over the plate when you plate it, you
Yeah.
just put it on a grill like this, or you keep turning it, or you put it on something.
How long would you keep it resting for?
This is kind of thin,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't want it to rest too long.
much,
I
yep.
say 3-4 minutes
Yeah, okay.
should be enough.
Yep. And would you slice it when you serve it, or you just keep it like that and let the person cut it up?
Well, it depends. It depends
Yeah.
what you want to do, but usually a steak like this, I serve it as it is.
Yep.
So, like I said, we just give it a bit of a char,
Yep.
get them to absorb that flavor. I suggest anytime you cook meat,
Yep.
you collect the juices. So if we didn't have that,
Yep.
we could have put the
Use this.
steak on a plate like that,
Yep.
and with just those juices there, you already done a gravy. Easy.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Simple. That's what I try to explain to people when they ask me how you cook so tasty, or how come I make the same thing and it doesn't taste as good.
Yep.
I don't waste flavor. A lot of time you waste flavor.
I like that comment. Don't waste flavor.
Yeah, exactly. We need to transport flavor from one thing to the other, the other. Keep it, add layer, and then at the end combine it. So this is the perfect example of it. It's a mixture of meat, veggies, a combination of so many flavors all together.
Yeah.
And what I think it would look nice is if we mix these ones with the sauce before we serve them. You can see how we did. If you leave it resting a lot longer, also you will keep cooking it.
Okay.
Make sure you cut it like this, so you've got fat and meat, not like that. It's obviously a lot of people know this, but you know, it's always.
And here's the chef's presentation. I love it. Every time I try to present something like that, it doesn't come out.
Don't worry. If I try to do what you do for work, I don't even know where to start. Maybe
It's counting.
Maybe we'll do something like that.
Beautiful.
This bit of meat with the fat.
Yep.
You know what? It's my favorite.
Oh, 100%. Definitely. Even though I love protein and everything about the gym, but mate, the fattiness in the meat is perfect.
Yeah, and this is it.
Whoa.
Try to have that. How does it look?
I couldn't do that if I tried. That looks beautiful.
Well,
that's amazing.
I hope that's just a saying, because one of the things that I hope to achieve with this is that, you know, I walk you through it, I do it in front of you,
Yep.
and then hopefully you're able to then do it more comfortably at home when you try yourself.
Definitely the sauces. I didn't even think of that. And then even the steak, just some of the things you said.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's more fully mentioned than just a cooking video, you know. We've done it together, and, and now you should be more comfortable doing it. But I can see you cannot wait to have it.
I'm looking at it.
I think I've done the cooking.
Yep.
You deserve to be the guinea pig.
Oh, really? Okay.
You want to do the honors?
The first one.
Yeah.
All right. I can't believe that sauce.
Yeah.
The things that you said, what's in it, I wouldn't. If you asked me what's in it, I'd say maybe mustard. Maybe, but the taste is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you again for being here. Hopefully,
thanks for having me.
you feel a bit even more confident next time cooking a steak.
Definitely.
And you know, you can always ring me if you want to make a sauce like that. And make sure you check these books, especially if you've got kids.
Yes, age 3 to 10, I reckon.
Yeah.
Looks right.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep.
Or some of our friends as well.
We can name a few, yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you again.
No, thank you.
Make sure you check the podcast, because I'm sure this guy has got something interesting to say. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Ciao.